Rachael Ray double R doing some double N's. Boop. What? Food that you can make so quick it will free you up for more free time in your life. Over the top, crushing it. Oh my God, it smells fantastic. Boom! Nailed it! Okay, so I don't even know where to begin with this. You know, when I was a girl, I lived in Cape Cod when I was very, very, very young, like just through kindergarten, really. We stopped for fish fry all the time. It's like every, half mile, quarter mile, all along all the roads, there's little shacks where you can get lobster rolls and fish fries. Then, as I grew up in the restaurants that my mom worked in, started serving a lot of fish fries on Fridays. I eventually became a waitress. I started at the dish machine, very glamorous job, not. Then I was a fountain girl. And then finally I became a waitress. You have no idea how many pounds and pounds, hundreds of pounds, I might have come close to a ton of fish fries, because it was all you can eat. Americans and our friends and neighbors in Canada, they would come back and forth to Montreal. We would get up to 12 buses at a time. They like to eat a lot of fish fry and clam fry and all that too. So over the years, I've had my share of fish fry, and I've tried to make it as easy as possible for when we make it at home. So today we're doing a quick fish fry, and we're making tartar sauce to go with it, of course. That was always my mom's fave. My problem with tartar sauce is I don't like store-bought mayonnaise. I mean, I really don't like it. There's something about the idea of making eggs shelf stable that I can't wrap my brain around. I love aioli when I make it at home, if I make my own mayo type dressing. And it's nice and fresh, like a good Caesar dressing. I put an egg in. If I make it myself, I'm totally fine with it. So I make a very tangy tartar sauce, and I always make it with a base of yogurt or sour cream. I prefer yogurt. I've got about a cup and a half. I don't measure. When I'm cooking, there are things you need to measure, right? When you're baking. Like if I'm trying to make one of my sister's baking recipes, yes, I'll take the time to measure. But when it's something like tartar sauce or Thousand Island dressing for a Reuben or something, no, don't be silly. Just throw some in a bowl and say, yeah, that'll probably be enough, and you're good. I start with about a cup and a half for every 4 to 6 people. Cup and a half of your base. Mine is a nice, tangy, full-fat yogurt. And then we're going to add, I like a nice salty tartar sauce. Salty and sweet together and herbaceous. And then you can add chopped cornichon, the little baby pickles, right? Fancy name, not a fancy thing. You can use finely chopped gherkins or, hello, relish. Everybody has this for hot dog day, right? You put a little splash of that in. I use one or the other, but relish is perfectly fine too. It just makes it a little sweeter. Then we're gonna add a squirt of lemon juice. Always squeeze your lemons cut side up so that the seeds don't fall into your sauce or into your dish. I put garlic in everything because I know who I live with and who I'm married to. I put one of these guys way over here. Let me just get him back. A little bit of garlic, finely grated. So we've got all of our little guys in here, and we need a little bit of green, right? So we're going to pile together, a little bit of extra yogurt there. We're gonna pile together a little dill and chive. I always put away all of the herbs once a week in baggies marked and dated, and then you rotate them a week later, and you know when they're coming and going. Scrappy into that guy can go. He was pale green, looked a little dead. Bench scrape, hello. My husband lived for a short time. And was it one semester or a couple?
What's the question?
In London, how long did you live there when you were a kid?
1 semester. My first semester in senior year in college.
So John is a big fan of fish and chips. My chips are store-bought, by the way. We're not making those. And there we go. Our tartar sauce is done, finito. Now we have a large amount of innocuous oil. So oil you can see through, oil with a high cooking temperature. About 2.5 to 3 inches is what you're going for. We have that getting nice and hot in a deep pot. You want at least 1.5 to 2 inches of room between the top of the oil and the top of your pot, just for safety's sake. And in case there's little spots of liquid on the fish, oil and water just don't mix. The oil will pop and explode on you. So, no. We keep this at least a couple inches from the top, and we stand back when we put things into or out of the pot. These things are called spiders, because they look like a spider's web, obviously. So we're going to use that to lower things and take things out of the hot oil. And in the bowl, this is the simplest, stupidest recipe for batter like ever. We have 2 cups or so. Maybe it's 2 1/4, I don't know. I tend to overpour everything. And 1 bottle of beer. I like a lager, something not too heavy, because you're working with fish. And we mix that together. And then I keep a little bit, like no more than 1/2 cup of water on the side. And if your batter seems a little bit thick, you thin it out with your water, and you should be good to go. You do want it fairly thick, like a pancake batter, guys. Kind of what you're going for. And then sometimes if I'm in Italy, I add, and I'm frying fish, I add a little fennel pollen and garlic. Here, today, I'm going to add a nice sprinkle of granulated garlic and a touch of paprika. Gives it a nice, slightly smoky, but it's sweet paprika, so it's not too overbearing. And that onion I love. Now, let's take a break. I'm not making the fries. I am dumping them on a tray and putting them in the oven.
I'm not making the fries, I'm making the fries.
I'm baking the fries, baby. Oh, nice. I got extra crispy. Spent the extra couple of cents on that.
Everyone settle down. Here we go in 3, 2, 1.
For the fish, we have center cut thick parts from the center of the cod. 2.5 to 3 pounds for 6 portions. So for every 6 people you're feeding, you need about 2.5 to 3. I cut them, well, quite frankly, like fat fish sticks. I like the shape, kids think they're fun, and it's just cool. Our oil is not up to temperature yet, I can tell just by looking at it, but Sir Moulton many years ago taught me this trick on my first day. You put the end of a wooden spoon into the pot, and when the bubbles run really fast around the bottom, the oil is hot. Of course, you can just put a thermometer in the pot as well. 350 would be the number you're looking for there. And you always want to keep it around that. So every time we fry, when we put the food into the hot oil, we cook that batch. You have a place to set it, whether it's paper towel lined plates, or I have a wire rack over parchment here to let the fish rest. Every time you take something out, you let the oil get hot again. And if the oil gets very, very dirty, take the time to let it cool and change it and keep it fresh. I have for battered fish, especially beer battered fish, I always have malt vinegar. We'll cut up some lemons later to put out with the fish too, and our tartar sauce. I'm gonna let the oil get hot and start frying. And we're gonna get some fries in the oven. As I said, I'm not making the fries. I am dumping them on a tray and putting them in the oven. I'm baking the fries, baby. Oh, nice. Well done, sir. Well done. So we have 6 people here, so I'm gonna do a bag and a half. I got extra crispy. Spent the extra couple of cents on that. And we're gonna put them on 2 trays because I really do like extra crispy fries. I know how to make great fries. I've done it many times in my life, but it is a little time consuming, especially if you're making this dish on a weeknight. So I'm taking the shortcut. It's never embarrassing to take a little help from the store every now and then, guys. All right, let's check the oil again. I think I have to turn it up here. It's still not giving me the bubbles I want to see. But let me point back to the fish and say that I always take the fish and pat it dry. When I take it out of the bag, we should always buy fish as close to the minute you're going to make it as possible. All seafood, not just fish. And you might find it weird or uncomfortable at the fish counter, but I always ask to smell my seafood. I want to make sure that the shrimp does not smell like metal, and I want to make sure shrimp doesn't smell like metal, and I want to make sure fish doesn't separate at all. And if the fish still has a head, the eyes should be bright and not cloudy. And always, fish like this, a white, thick-cut fish, you could use halibut, you could use any white, fleshy fish. You want it to not have any separation on the surface of the fish itself. And you want it to smell like nothing, clean. It shouldn't smell at all. So be weird, ask them to give you your seafood before you purchase it, and make sure you're getting what you are paying for. I also make sure that wherever I shop for fish, everything I'm buying is sustainable. It is very important to be mindful of how our seafood is farmed. It has to be farmed responsibly. We need to be able to keep each other fed. The way we do that, sustainable seafood and knowing where our meats and farm products come from. I'm going to start battering. Remember, if this gets too thick on you, you can add a splash more water, but don't go too crazy. I'm gonna get some in, then we'll get some out. We'll discuss. We'll be right back. See you in a bit. We drag it along the side of the bowl to get any excess off. I remember when I was a little girl, if I was with a friend at their house or something, I'd always ask for the malt vinegar. Weird, right? Okay, look at that. Come on. So that's our tester. He looks great. And as soon as the fish comes out, while it's still hot, we sprinkle it with a little extra sea salt, fine sea salt. Now we're going to start, now we know this works, right? We're letting the oil get hot just a minute or so again, right? And now we can use all of the oil so we can make 4 of them at a time instead of 1 at a time. But you always want to do that test and make sure that the oil is working for you the way you want it to. We drag it along the side of the bowl to get any excess off. You want an even coating, but you don't want it too globby, right? And we gently just drop that in. The fries are in the oven. Yum. And for me, the most important condiment for fish fry is to have malt vinegar. I love it on my fries and on my fish. And even I remember when I was a little girl, if I was with a friend at their house or something, I'd always ask for the malt vinegar. Weird, right? So I'm gonna put out some ketchup because some people like ketchup with their fries. I'm sure my husband is making a really awful face right now. He doesn't like ketchup with it, barely anything. We already have our yogurt based tartar sauce. This is so delicious. I hope you guys really try this. I base mine with yogurt. You can also use sour cream, but I don't use mayonnaise. I'm not a big fan of store-bought mayonnaise. And I like the consistency and the extra tang that you get when you use, look at that consistency, right? It's so great. And it has lemon juice, capers, herbs, the dill, the chive, and either relish or minced cornichon. If you have the time and you have the cornichon, right? Might as well use it up. And put some ketchup out for those who want it with their fries. I gotta flip the trays of the fries in the oven, and I'm gonna keep frying the fish. And we've gotta get some lemons to put lemon wedges out with all of this. Now, to serve, if you were in the UK, you would get this all wrapped up, literally in newspapers. I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna just substitute parchment paper, that's all. And we'll just pile the whole hot, delicious mess up together on parchment. Easy enough. Be right back. We can't forget our little bit of sea salt there, right at the end. Boop. Over the top. All right, move it, coming through. We pile up the crispy fish. Okay, so we're coming in on the close here of our beautiful big batch of fish fry. Golden crispy, beer battered, yummy goodness. We can't forget our little bit of sea salt there, right at the end. Boop. Over the top. Turn this off. And let's go check with our girlfriend, Dolly Parton. My Dolly Parton. Oven mitts. We'll get the rest of our fries out. This batch never got salt, so I'm gonna put a little salt on him. Okay, here's how we roll. All right, move it, coming through. Our parchment on a giant board, of which I have an embarrassing collection of. We pile up the crispy fish. And then we pile on the fries, the crisps. Throw about some lemons. And there you go. Come on, everybody. Get your kip on.